What's good, everybody? This your boy D Money, and we on another episode of Rulers Universe. We gonna tap into the From the Mud Part 1 short film series, The Soil. Now, before there was a tree, there was soil. Before there was success, there was preparation. Before there was recognition, there was purpose. Most people celebrate what grows above the ground. They admire the finished product, the accomplishments, the lifestyle, and the results, but very few stop to think about where it all began. Everything begins with the soil. That's how pureness begins. Welcome to Ruler's Universe. It's your boy D Money. Today we're exploring, the first chapter of the From the Mud story. This isn't just about, where something grows. It's about the environment that, shapes who you are and who you become. The meaning of the soil, represents your foundation, your environment that surrounds you before anyone even notices the potential that you have and the talents and gifts that are there. For some people, the soil is filled with encouragement, opportunity, and resources. For others, like myself, it's filled with hardship, uncertainty, and obstacles. None of us, get to choose the soil we're planted in, but we all get to choose how we respond to it. Some people allow their environment to define them. Others decide to transform it, and that's what we're here to talk about today. That's what, Dreams of Ruler Foundation is all about, visualizing your purpose. That's the difference between surviving and growing. Not every soil looks the same, you know what I'm saying? One of the biggest misconceptions about success is believing everyone starts from the same place, and that's never true. Some people inherit opportunities, others have to create those opportunities. Some begin with support, others, begin with complete doubt, like myself. Some are surrounded by people who believe in their dreams. I've had some people believe in my dreams, like my mom, my cousin D Lot, my friends Tino, Gnosis Rioto, Chef Shiz, my sister, KP the Brat. But at the end of the day, different soil, different conditions. And, both growth is still possible. The condition of the soil may influence your journey, but it doesn't determine your destination, regardless of where you come from. Before, the farmer plants a seed, the ground has to be prepared. The rocks are removed, the weeds are cleared, the soil is turned over. Why? Because, healthy growing requires healthy preparation. The same is true in life, Before you can build a brand, you have to build discipline. Before you lead others, you have to develop a character, positive character. Before you can create a legacy, you have to become the kind of person who can carry it. Preparation isn't glamorous. It's often quiet, it's repetitive, it's overlooked, but it's necessary. You know what I'm saying? Dreams of rulers, it didn't begin with a clothing rack or a collection. It began just with a belief that fashion could be the canvas to tell my stories, a belief that clothing could carry purpose for not only myself, but those that choose to be a part of the community, a belief that luxury isn't only defined by a price tag. It begins with intention, craftsmanship, and meaning. Long before there were designs, there was study. Long before there was, products, there was vision. It all started with me going to the library at, 21, 22 years old every day, walking an hour, even across the freeway, you know what I'm saying? Just to get to the Stone Mountain Library, just to study about the fashion business, the fashion industry, and, honing in on my dreams and goals along with, the weaknesses within myself. Long before,
CMD.
that
Okay.
recognition, there was
Yeah.
consistency. That was the soil. The foundation, no one saw. People often focus on, the mud because that's where the struggle is. But before the mud comes the soil. The soil represents possibility. It represents the preparation put in. It represents the place where dreams are planted before they ever become reality. Nothing grows unless it's first placed into the ground. That means every dream requires commitment before it produces results. You wouldn't always see progress. You won't always receive applause.
This is
But
CMD
underneath the
all
surface,
day.
something is happening. You start to believe, you start to build the faith, the confidence, and knowing what you're able to do. Growth begins where no one is looking. Fashion is a reflection of that foundation for me. Every collection starts with an idea, before a sketch, before, a fabric choice, before, a pattern, before the production, there's a purpose. That's the soil of every design. You know what I'm saying? The strongest collections aren't created to chase trends, they're created to communicate something meaningful. That's what From the Mud represents. Not just clothing, a foundation. A reminder that every piece begins with preparation long before it's presented to the world. The soil teaches patience, you know what I'm saying? It teaches humility, teaches consistency. It reminds us that what happens beneath the surface is often more important than what happens above it. People may, only notice the finished product, but you'll always remember the process. You'll always remember the days no one believed, the nights, spent learning, the nights dreaming of what could be, the failures that, became lessons and, started to turn into W's, the discipline that became confidence in that soil. Every ruler has a beginning. Every legacy has a foundation. Every vision starts in place that most people overlook. Don't become discouraged if no one sees your progress today. You feel me? It's not about, the outside world. It's about what we believe in for ourselves. You feel me? Keep, preparing yourself. Keep learning. Keep building. Don't, be discouraged if, no one believes in your potential at all. Because the greatest things in life don't begin on the stage, they begin beneath the surface. The soil doesn't promise instant success, it promises the opportunity to grow. And you have to do that each and every day of your life. If you're willing to, nurture your purpose, protect your vision, and remain committed to the process, one day the world won't just see what you built, they'll see what your foundation made possible. This is Ruler's Universe. This is the From the Mud short film series part one, the Soil documentary episode, because every legacy begins with the ground. It's willing to grow from it. Keep visualizing your purpose. Start living like royalty. The From the Mud collection, spoken word album, and poetry books are all available on the proper platforms and on our website. Go check it out.